I'm so glad everyone could join us today. We are delighted to have with us Lindsay Ferguson with Consumer Federation of America. I don't know what else everybody else is up to, but the last couple of months, usually November, December, I really start to think about our upcoming America Saves campaign. And we actually just in Arkansas, in our state, with our FCS agents, had a training meeting this fall talking about what we were going to do upcoming for 2018. So I'm already starting to update and put out materials, and I'm so grateful for all of the resources that we have for America Saves Week through Consumer Federation of America, and just great to have all the inside info from the one who knows, their outreach campaign coordinator, Lindsay Ferguson. Thanks, Lindsay.
Thank you, Laura, and I'm going to share my screen, so just give me a second here. But in the meantime, can everybody see my presentation? Let me get into presentation mode, sorry.
Yep, looks good.
We good now? Okay, great. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me, Laura and Mark. Thank you for your coordination and great music selection. It got me pumped up and ready to talk to you all. But I cannot emphasize enough that we are so grateful for the partnership with Extension. And Laura, thank you so much for allowing me to talk to more practitioners and more people from the Extension Network for the next half hour or so. So why you're all here for America Saves Week. So as Laura mentioned, it is coming up right around the corner. And my name is Lindsay Ferguson, and I am the campaign outreach manager. I saw the attendees list, and I saw quite a few names on there, but I also saw quite a few names I was not familiar with. So I don't know if your recruitment helped, Laura, but thank you for getting more new names to learn more about America Saves. So really quickly, I will spend probably the next 5 or 6 slides just really simply going over America Saves, who we are, and kind of the foundation of our overall campaign, which I think is really important to address before we go into what America Saves Week is and how you can take advantage of this great opportunity to promote saving. So as Laura mentioned, I am with the Consumer Federation of America, which is our kind of parent company or parent organization. It's a national nonprofit here in DC, which is an advocacy group. It's based on multiple consumer organizations across the country that have certain focus areas in consumer advocacy. So America Saves, we are an initiative of the Consumer Federation of America, and essentially we are a national campaign that uses the principles of social marketing and behavior economics to support and motivate low to moderate income households to save money, reduce debt, and build wealth. And we do this through a variety of different ways. We primarily engage with individuals, and what we call individuals are savers. So these are people who are wanting to learn more information about saving. They either are avid savers and they just want to stay and continue that positive behavior, or they're new to saving and they want to learn some new tips and tools to encourage them to save. So we focus on savers throughout the country, and we do that through a variety of different ways. We have America Saves Week, which is what we'll talk about here in a little bit. We have our local campaigns, which I did see a couple of my coordinators on this call, so shout out to you guys. But our local campaigns are essentially the boots on the ground for America Saves, and they use the America Saves branding, logo, and resources to promote savings throughout their communities and to the constituents that they serve. We have military saves. So for any of you who are on this webinar right now who have worked with military service members and their families, we do have savings resources, tips, and tools that are specific to that demographic, and that is through military saves. And there's also Military Saves Week, which is the same time as America Saves Week. They're in conjunction. So I'll refer to that at the end of the webinar as well. And then we have America Saves for Young Workers, which focuses on youth employment programs and young adults between the ages of 17 and 24. So long story short, we are communicating with savers year-round through a variety of different ways. So just a reminder, and a lot of you who are already in the financial stability field, these couple slides are not going to be new to you, but just a reminder of why we are here doing what we do, promoting savings. Every year we do an annual household study to see how families and individuals are saving, and we do this in conjunction with the American Savings Education Council, which Carolyn is on this call now, so shout out to her from ASEC. But we're all familiar that the savings status in this country is pretty poor. Only about 38% of American households told us that they are making good or excellent progress in meeting their savings needs. And then you can kind of see from these stats here, 45% are saving for retirement, and then 68% are spending less than what they bring in. So the need for having an annual week to talk about savings, the need to having a campaign to promote savings is there. And I'm sure all of you are quite familiar with this. But what may be some new information to you is we also asked what people's savings behaviors have been. We do the survey as well on an annual basis. And as you can see here, the savings behaviors of households across the country has gone down, and savings habits have unfortunately gone down since 2008 to 2017. So one of the big ones is in 2008, 62% of savings households had a households had a savings plan with goals, whereas this year in 2017, only 46% of U.S. households told us that they have a savings plan with goals. So America Saves are not only here to provide information about savings, but we also want to encourage individuals to kind of create savings behaviors and savings habits, because as you can see here, there is a need for that. We also want people to have a savings plan, because we know when people have a plan, they're more successful at saving. I'm not going to go through all of these. If you want more of this information, if you're into research, all this stuff is posted on americasaves.org. So you can definitely take a look at all this research at a later date. But I wanted to remind everybody that America Saves, we are, the crux of our campaign is to encourage people to create a savings plan, because we know they'll be more successful with that plan. So with that being said, we think we have created one of the simplest savings plans out there, which is the America Saves Pledge. And this is a simple savings plan where individuals identify a savings goal, which we have, I think, 12 to 15 of them to choose from, anything from a consumer good to retirement, emergency fund, homeownership, you name it. And then we encourage them to identify how much they plan to save and over what period of time they want to accomplish that goal. So once an individual takes the America Saves Pledge, again, they're making that plan so that hopefully they'll create habits by writing it down and kind of creating strategies for themselves. We are able to support them throughout their savings journey. So I threw this slide in here just to kind of give, again, you guys a snapshot of what people are saving for, and you being practitioners and a lot of you doing financial stability work, this may be interesting for you to see as well. Since America Saves has started and we started promoting the America Saves Pledge, we have seen some trends in what people are saving for. And we've noticed that consistently people are saving for an emergency fund and debt repayment, which is good for us because that is where a lot of our savings communications are around. All of the tips and resources that we give them normally fall under the emergency fund and debt repayment category. We've seen a decrease in savers telling us that they're saving for homeownership and retirement. I think you kind of go into a little bit more of why homeownership is down, but that could be for a different webinar and a different conversation. And then we've seen an increase in people saving for education. So since America Saves started about 15 years ago, we've had 530,000 individuals make a commitment to save, and that we call savers. And so once somebody takes the America Saves Pledge, and forgive me for those of you who are quite familiar with this, but I did see some new names, so hopefully this is new to you. But once somebody takes the America Saves Pledge, we follow up with them with motivational communications via email and text message. And these messages are tailored to not only their savings goal, but also just general savings tips, resources, and motivational messages. So I've screenshotted 2 examples of some of our email communications just so that you know what a saver would receive. And basically, these are 2 examples of one. The retirement planning example is of somebody who selected retirement as their savings goal. So we're able to send them communications based on that specific goal. And just so that you are aware, we are a nonprofit associated with the consumer advocacy group. So all of our communications are unbiased, non-commercial. We're not promoting or endorsing any type of specific product. It's just good, simple savings messages. And the other one on the left is just a fun way that we engage savers over the summer through a quick little savings challenge in conjunction with National Selfie Day. So we had people take a picture of them, or excuse me, a selfie, and then they told us what they were saving for, and then that could enter them into a contest to win $100. So in conjunction with email, we also send motivational text messages. And these come, I think, twice a month you can receive a text message. And for email, we probably send one about the same thing twice a month, every other week. So we're not really bombarding people with messages. The max is probably one message a week, and then sometimes every other week. So the text messages are normally really short and sweet. A lot of times they are, have you made your savings deposit this month? Yes or no. If the saver responds no, we send them a message. We understand life happens. Here maybe are some tips to help you find $5 to save. And if they say yes, we send them a message. Keep up the good work. You're doing a great job. You're one step closer to meeting your savings goal. So after somebody makes this commitment to save through the America Saves Pledge, we are now able to support them and keep them motivated throughout their savings journey. And I guess before I get into the week, I'll ask Laura and Mark if there's any questions that you see pop up. If not, I can just keep going along and we can wait and do questions at the end.
Yeah, none at this time.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mark. So we'll get into the nitty-gritty of why you're here. America Saves Week. And I thought it was really important to give you a foundation of what America Saves does, because we're essentially doing this all year round. But the week is where we use it as an annual opportunity to engage more organizations, more partners, and more savers. So it's just this one 6-day period where we really emphasize America Saves Week and the importance of saving. And we obviously want you all to participate. So this year, America Saves Week is February 26th through March 3rd. We make it really, really easy for you to participate. I'll go into more of that here in a minute. We really try to make it as plug and play as we can. So if you already are doing financial stability work, you should just be able to pick this up and pop it into whatever you're doing regularly. We try to make it fun. We have some contests that I'll talk to you about. And then it's a great way that you could also show impact, because we do have some tracking capabilities that you may be interested in hearing about as well. So this year for America Saves Week, we have changed it up a little bit, and we are doing more of a broad daily theme. If you have been with us in the past, you know that each daily theme has been really specific, like save for retirement. But this year we want to invite more of you guys to participate with more broader focus areas throughout the week. So as you can see here, Monday is Save with a Plan. This will be really in promoting the America Saves Pledge and the importance of having a spending and savings plan. Tuesday is Save the Easy Way automatically. And this will obviously talk about the importance of using things like direct deposit, split payments, setting up automatic payments, etc. Wednesday will be Save for the Rainy Days. This is your retirement fund, your emergency fund kind of conversation. Thursday is Save for Retirement. Friday is Save the Extra. And this will kind of go into tax time saving, because we know a lot of households will be receiving an influx of money through their refund. It also will cover things like bonuses. If you're getting paid on a biweekly schedule, you know that there's a couple months throughout the year where you get 3 paychecks within a month instead of 2. And then Friday will be Save as a Family. So this will be conversations that you can have with everyone throughout your family about savings. We'll talk about things like education, saving for education, etc. Excuse me. All right. So cooperative extension, I wanted to make sure that you guys all know that you play a crucial role in America Saves Week. So I figured I would share some statistics with you. So in 2007, for America Saves Week, we had 131 cooperative extension agents or cooperative extension offices sign up for the week. So that's really great. I give you all a round of applause and pat yourself on the back, but we want more. So you have been supporting us since 2007. Again, we cannot thank you enough for your support and leadership. You guys actually have shown innovative ideas for a lot of the America Saves Week activities that we see. I know Laura has done great things in Arkansas. She's always really innovative in how she promotes the week, and we sometimes share those as best practices. We have a reporting survey that is specifically tailored to you guys so that you can use it within your annual reporting or monthly reporting or whatever is necessary. So be on the lookout for information about that. We'll send it out via email to all the America Saves Week participants. So make sure you're signed up for the week, which I'll talk about here in a minute, but that survey was created in conjunction with you guys. So hopefully that data is something that you can capture and use. And then it's already passed, but we do have mini grant opportunities that we do every year. And those have already been passed. That's already been passed, so excuse that bullet point. So how do we make it easy for you guys to participate? We have what we call a digital toolkit, and this is jam-packed of pre-written content that you literally just copy and paste. You don't have to do anything as far as creating content. It's made so that you can cut and paste. Obviously, we want you to alter it and use it as you wish. You can slap your logo on it. You can slap a partner's logo on it. You can do whatever. But the bare minimum, you can copy and paste. And these things include blog posts, emails, newsletters, and they're all based on the themes throughout the week. So if your target audience is your employees, you can send out our emails throughout your intranet or through your internal listservs. If your constituents are more broad-based, you can pop this information into a newsletter, you can put it on your website. We also have tons of social media content with graphics, which I know is really exciting and sometimes hard for us to come up with. We've done that for you. So all you have to do is just pop it into your schedule or your scheduler, and you can get those posts on your social media accounts. In addition to that, if you are doing any, and everybody take note of this, if you are doing any public-facing event during America Saves Week, we want to help promote that for you. So we will house that information on our website as well. So for example, if Laura is doing a financial fitness fair in Arkansas and she wants people to come, we can help promote that for her on our website. So keep that in mind. If that is something that you're interested in, just contact me and I can make sure that those events are housed on our public-facing website for savers. And then on the screen here, I don't know if you can see my pointer, but I'm going to try to use it. When you get to americasavesweek.org, just find the blue button that says Toolkit, and you can get access to all that information I was talking about. This year, we've made it even more robust by inviting outside organizations to contribute content based on the daily themes. So we've asked people like the Social Security Administration, FDIC, IRS, to provide us with more savings content that you guys can share. So we really did our best to make this really robust so that you guys can just pick it up and use. And then here's an example of one of the emails. I just kind of screenshotted the first line, but the subject is make your savings automatic today. And it's already pre-written here and templated so that all you have to do is just cut and paste and fill in the blank. And then here's an example of one of the social media graphics. So to give myself a breath, I saw a couple questions come in. Mark or Laura, do you mind sharing those with me?
I will. One, I was just emailing back to Carol. She said, give us some examples of using this week, these tools for a 4-H youth program. And I've used these with older youth quite frequently, with like high school youth and other young adults. And you have lots of resources that target young adults that can be used with high school age students. What else do you have for that, Lindsay?
Yeah, so Laura, that was a great comment. Our materials are focused on, I would say 15 and up. So keep that in mind, just because, as I mentioned earlier, the best way that we support savers is through our digital communications. So you can't really send a 7-year-old information about buying a home because A, probably isn't going to read his email, and B, you know, that's just way too complex. So keep that in mind when you are incorporating America Saves Week with youth. But what a great approach, and something that I always encourage is if your target audience is youth, this is an easy way to engage the parents, caregivers, teachers, etc. So if you are doing something with youth, teaching them how to use a piggy bank or whatever, and use the week to invite the parents or caregivers or teachers to be a part of the conversation and have them take the pledge so that they receive information about saving that can support them in their savings needs.
And I would also say, Carol, that this is just I usually start promoting it in January and to promote it kind of as our climax event, America Saves Week. And you are welcome to include in any of your news articles or posts or anything, tips that they can do for financial literacy with their family. And we do have those new 4-H financial project books that would be great to use with this. And also, Carol asked about the contest focused on youth. And I did want to follow up, ask you about the contest, Lindsay, if you were going to get to those now, if this is a good time for that. But I would say that youth would probably love the video contest. The high school students would probably really enjoy doing that.
Yeah, so we are going to continue doing the I'm Saving For contest, which I'll talk about in the next slide after this one. So that will still be continuing, yes.
Okay.
Is there any other questions, or should we move on?
That's what I have so far.
Okay, great. And Carol, thank you for that question. And I was not familiar with your name either. So if this is your first time participating, thank you for joining. So the digital toolkit, I'll just kind of reiterate everything I talked about. Again, it's really make it really easy for you to use. But in addition to that, we want you to contribute this year. So we have opened the floor to invite more organizations, again, to provide us content and resources. A lot of times you guys are the experts in your field. We cater to a broad group of savers with a number of different savings goals. So if there is a savings theme throughout the week that you really think that you can contribute to with innovative content or resources, let me know. We're looking for that. We want things like blog content, research, tips, tools. And then again, I can't emphasize enough that we would love to promote your public-facing events as well. And that can include webinars or one-on-one kind of events. So if you do want to provide any type of content for us, just let me know. It's a great way to showcase the work that you do on a national scale. In addition to the toolkit this year, we also are having what we call a digital resource. Digital resources. Yes, that's what it's called. And that will be in addition to the toolkit. And these are just resources that are being provided to us by different organizations that we're housing on americasavesweek.org. Again, expanding the exposure to more organizations who are in the financial stability field or who want to promote saving. So if we don't use your information in the toolkit, we'll pop it into the resource library. And the resource library is sorted by category, by type of content. So I think that it's a great way for you guys to showcase some of the work that you're doing as well. And if not, take a look at it and you may be able to use some of the resources. That is new this year, so it's really exciting and we're really trying to build that up as well. All right, so the I'm Saving For and video contest, we will be doing that again this year. For those of you who are new, it's a really simple way to engage savers where they identify a savings goal, they take a video or a selfie or picture, whatever, and they submit that as an entry to win a cash prize. The cash prize is not going to be $500. I don't have off the top of my head exactly what it is. I think it might be $750, but I just used the last week's materials since our 2018 materials are not ready yet. But just be on the lookout, those will be ready. But it still will be a cash prize that they can win, and I think it's more than $500, which is even better. But this is a great way to use your social media. People love posting things on social media, so we encourage them to post pictures of themselves and what they save for. Again, it's a great way to engage maybe some of your youth. The caveat to this year is taking the American. So they will have to make that savings plan and set a savings goal in order to enter the contest, taking a picture or video. So that will be continuing again this year. And more information about this can all be found at americasavesweek.org. So do we have any questions before I get into something that's kind of a little bit more complex, and I know we'll get questions about?
I put the link to americasavesweek.org in the chat, and I also put the specific link to the digital toolkit in there.
Okay.
And would you just real quickly, Lindsay, when I first started, it was a little confusing for me because there's an americasavesweek.org and there's an americasaves.org.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So tell them when they would want to go to which place.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. So americasavesweek.org is specific to the week, and it's specific to organizations. So this is to give you, the practitioner, you, the organization, information about how to participate in America Saves Week. It's not really a place to send individuals looking for content. If you have individuals who are looking for savings content, send them to americasaves.org. That's where we have all of our tools like calculators, blogs, all that stuff. So think of America Saves as more the consumer-facing site, and then americasavesweek.org is more of the organization-facing site. So I hope that helps. And americasavesweek.org is up all year round. So there's a lot of strategies and information that you can use throughout the year in addition to America Saves Week. Thank you, Laura. That's a great question. So I'm going to talk about something that I don't think has been really emphasized enough throughout the past couple America Saves Week, and it's a great tool that we provide for free. And did I mention all this stuff is for free? There's no cost associated with any of this stuff, but this is another free resource that has a tracking component, which it's a heavier lift, so it's a little bit more of a commitment on your end, but it's a great way to show impact. And it's the America Saves Embeddable Pledge Form. And this is an example of it here on the screen. And basically what it is the America Saves Pledge Form, but it's housed on an existing website. So it'll be housed on your site. And what that means is when somebody takes the pledge through the pledge form on your site, we're able to provide you with some of that data. It's aggregate data, so we can't send individual data, but at the end of a period of time, I can tell you how many people committed to save, the amount that they committed to save, and their savings goals. So again, it's just a great way to show impact. It's super easy. If you're familiar with websites, I just create an iframe code for you, and then you just ask whomever, manages your website to post it on an existing page or create a page for it on your site. If you want information about this, I will have my email at the end of the presentation. Just shoot me a note and we can make it happen. It happens really quickly. I'm pretty sure, Laura, I think you guys had one last year. Yeah, she's shaking her head. Yeah, so they had one. So it's super easy to create. So let me know if you're interested in that. And this is something you can have all year round as well, in addition to America Saves Week. All right, so I know a lot of times I get questions on how to engage certain groups within the work that you're doing. So I figured I would just throw in a couple of slides about partnerships. Financial institutions are always a great way to expand your partners during the week because financial institutions are in the business of having people save and they want them to be successful savers and create a habit of saving. So the past 3 years, I think we're in our third year, we've had the designation of excellence. And this is a special award that is given to financial institutions who basically go above and beyond during America Saves Week. And one of the things that we always look for in their applications, it is an application process. One of the things we always look for in their applications is if they work with local organizations. So if you already are working with a financial institution, if you've always wanted to expand that partnership, this is a great kind of carrot to dangle because they'll get national recognition from us if they work with you specifically during the week and specifically to promote saving. So some examples of what financial institutions have done is they've created video content about the week for their members and customers. They've offered and promoted free, low-cost, or unique savings products during the week. They've obviously worked with local organizations to either provide financial education or support their events, and they've hosted an embeddable pledge form. So I know like this may be totally off your radar, but for those of you who are engaged and looking to engage with financial institutions, keep this in mind. More information is on americasavesweek.org. And in addition to that, government is another great way to get them engaged during the week. I think it's also an opportunity for you at your organization. I'm sure a lot of you are already working with your local government, so they can participate in the week as well, and we want them to participate in the week as well. And some examples of what they can do are here. Proclamations and press releases. This is a really great video, and I think we have time to show it. I think it's only like 30 seconds. So I'm going to show this video. I hope it works. But this is from a lieutenant governor in Wisconsin.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Clayfish, and I'm proud to kick off America Saves Week. It runs February 27th through March 4th. Now, this is the perfect time to assess your own financial situation and determine how you can be a super saver. Did you know that there are already 14,000 Wisconsinites who've taken the pledge and taken financial action? If you'd like to learn more, join us today at www.wisconsin-saves.org and start building wealth today. Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor.
Okay, so that's just a great example of how your local government can be involved. We have scripts available on the website. We've got, again, proclamations and press releases, templates that people can just use. So we really make it easy. So if you are trying to work with your government, that's a great example. So what have other cooperative extensions done? I want to make sure that we highlighted some of the work that has been done in the past by you all. So I popped out some examples. We've got Laura on here with the University of Arkansas. She hosted financial fairs at different locations. She also promoted the America Saves Pledge via the website. Colorado State University, I'm not sure if they're on the call or not, or University of Tennessee, but they promoted America Saves Week specifically to their TANF recipients via some of the email communications we created. So again, we make it super easy. University of Tennessee, they did a fair, a wealth fair for employees. They also promoted the pledge and were able to report some of those numbers here, where they had a cumulative saving of $69,000. So use the resources that we provide you. It's a great way to showcase your work that you're doing. Volusia County, she incorporated it with her first-time homebuyer program. Again, those are people who want to save because they want to save for a down payment. They want to save for things for their home. She increased the savings message. Let's see what else. And then University of Tennessee, Madison County, they worked with their local financial institution, Bancorp South. That's a great another partnership, and they've actually won the designation. So there's an example of how they worked with a financial institution to promote the work that they're already doing. I saw Faye is on the call. There's her shiny face in this picture here. They did multiple I'm Saving For events where they just promoted this I'm Saving For contest at their local library and through local partnering organizations. So it's super easy. Talk to your peers who have participated. We have a whole What Others Have Done page on americasavesweek.org where you can see examples of what others have done. Again, it's super easy. It's a great time to be innovative, or it's an easy time just to amp up the work that you're already doing around saving. So before I take questions, I want to give you all homework, and that is to make sure that you sign up. Sign up for America Saves Week. Encourage the organizations that you're working with to sign up for America Saves Week. Basically what this is, it will put you in queue to receive all of the updates about the week. You'll know when there's any updates to the toolkit. So I didn't mention this, but the digital toolkit is a living document. It's going to be updated all the way up until the week. So there'll be new content constantly being added to that. And you'll get notified of that through signing up. It's just a great way. We also have a list of participating organizations where we recognize who participates in the week. So your name will be showed up on there as well. And then if you haven't been to the website yet, you can see it's sorted by different types of organizational type. And there's more below here. So that's where you can see what others have done, their specific language for you and the work that you're doing. So take note of my email and phone number. I would love to take more questions. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to highlight the week. I hope you all find ways to be engaged with us. Please know I am a personal resource. I hope Laura can attest that I really try to respond and give you as much support as I can. So feel free to shoot me ideas. If you have questions, if you want an Embeddable pledge form, just let me know. And I'll open the floor up to questions.
So I want to confirm, Lindsay is great to work with. Please don't hesitate to contact her if you need anything. I have a couple of questions listed here, and then I wanted to take one that was in the chat. Can you track the online pledge so that the participant could be entered for a daily drawing?
Yeah, so I've actually done that for a group. So because of privacy, we cannot give you individual contact information, but what I can do, which I've done before, is if you host an Embeddable pledge form and you want to do a drawing, I will do that all in the back end for you and send you, like I'll use the random selection and Excel and all that stuff. And I'll send you the winner's name and email so that you can contact them if they want a prize. Does that answer your question? I think that answers the question.
Okay, thanks, Lindsay. I also wanted to ask about, okay, so we talked about the Embeddable pledge form on the website. I've done that for 2 years now, and I wanted to highlight what you said about that you were great helping that, and that was pretty easily doable. And you can sort out my data by state. I don't know if you mentioned that, but you could send us how many we had in our state who signed up. I wanted to challenge everyone to go ahead and take the pledge form, sign up for the challenge, so that you will see the tags that are coming in from America Saves. So if that's something you're promoting in your county or with your local clientele, that's certainly something that you want to do yourself so that you can see what your clients are seeing. Plus, it really is kind of fun. And then one of my questions was, Lindsay, we have a big military base here in our state, pretty close to Central Arkansas, pretty close to Little Rock here. And I wondered if we're interested in working on a military saves campaign with them. Who do we contact, or how do we get started with that?
Yeah, and sorry, I forgot to mention that. Yes, you can contact me, and I can put you in conjunction with the military saves team. But if you go to militarysavesweek.org, you can also sign up for their week as well. Again, the weeks run at the same time, but as I mentioned earlier, the messaging that comes out of Military Saves Week is specific to service members and their families on their savings needs versus America Saves Week, which is general. So it's in your best interest to sign up for both so that you receive communications for both things. But if you have a specific installation that you want to work with, we may have the resources to connect the two of you. So just shoot me a note, and then we can get the Military Saves team involved, and we can see how we can best support those efforts.
And then I also wanted to mention, we have a pretty active Jumpstart Coalition here, but they've just recently become pretty active, and I was just thinking during our call that they might be a great place for me to find some more partners too. Have y'all partnered or seen states that partner with Jumpstart coalitions?
Yeah, we have had support from Jumpstart throughout the whole entire, since America Saves started. And then again, their best approach that they do is with the teachers, the employees at the schools that they're working with, and the parents. They really get them on board and engaged for America Saves Week. It's another great resource, and they're very familiar with us. So hopefully, whomever you contact, they should have a history with America Saves.
Okay, we have another question about the behavior change impact. So we're getting participants, but Carol wants to know, how about the behavior change impact information, or what can be reported out as a result of this challenge? So I found tracking Carol's thought process right here on this what she's entered in the chat. So we can get the number of participants we have who've signed up on the pledge form from our state, but can we get any impact data from them that y'all collect?
So specific to a state or an individual, no. But we do have aggregate saver surveys that we do. And I apologize, I did not add any of that information on these slides, but I will send Laura the link to that research. We just did one in September of 2016, where basically we showcase that after taking the pledge, a saver is quote unquote better off because they are saving more regularly, and they are accomplishing their savings goals. So I don't want to fudge up any of those numbers and give you the wrong stats, but I will link the study for you, and we have shown that since taking the pledge, they have increased their savings habits and have been successful in meeting their savings goals. So I will make sure that you guys all have access to that. And we survey our savers. Again, it's aggregate information, and it is self-reported. We don't have access to bank accounts, none of that stuff. But we survey them about once a year as well, and we share that annual survey with all of you and all of our partners.
And if I remember correctly, that's linked on one of those websites. Is it americasaves.org or americasavesweek.org?
Yep, it's on americasaves.org. So if you are antsy and want to look at that now, just in the search bar, type Saver Survey. And it's also under our research tab. We have a research tab.
Because you have other kinds of research too.
Yep, that will be where all of the annual household study research will be housed as well. We have some research that's specific to military saves as well as our young workers program. So yes.
So I would say, Carol, in response to that part of your question as well, that's something that we can, that we do sometimes in writing up personal finance impact, is you can take the numbers that you have in your state and then just generalize those results that have been found nationally to your local population. And I know it's not as specific as we might like to have, but still it's great impact data that we can use, especially if we're talking to stakeholders and policymakers about the importance of personal finance programming. All right, what else? Oh, she says, can we say that because of participation in the challenge, they have done blank? And you can find that at that survey on americasaves.org.
Right.
They have that a lot of times, oftentimes on that website, I go to that in the news or the press release tab at the top, and usually there are news releases related to the data.
You find infographics that you can copy and use. So feel free, all that stuff is for your disposal.
Lindsay, I'm curious if churches or religious organizations have you had any of those folks sign up and use?
Yeah, we actually have had support in the past with faith-based organizations. A lot of times they supplement their financial education curriculum. I don't know if you're familiar, but there's like the Crown curriculum, and there are some like financial education curriculum that is focused on faith-based. And they have used America Saves to supplement and support those conversations. So yeah, we've had support from them. We've had support from specific demographics. So we've had Hispanic Saves. For those of you who do work with Spanish-speaking populations, we don't have a lot of resources, but there is an America Saves and Enroll section of our site where a lot of our best performing content has been translated in Spanish. So feel free to take a look at that as well.
So I'm posting right now. I'm going to go ahead and post this link to the research reports in America Saves. And I've also posted in the chat the americasavesweek.org link and the americasaves.org link, which is the one that you would want to use with clientele, the savers and consumers in your local area. And then I just posted the link to the research surveys that you can look at to and use for reporting impact for your local saves campaign. All right, Lindsay, thank you so much. I'm not seeing any more questions right now. Let's see. Yes. Is there a professional development support piece that we can access for sharing internally or with staff? And one thing is this recording will be available, right, Lindsay? And they can use that.
Yeah, and we actually have within the toolkit, there is some language that's like speaking to your employees, which with some content that you can use as well. So carve out about 15-20 minutes and just have some time looking at americasavesweek.org, and I'd be surprised if you don't find something that can support whatever program, initiative, idea you have in regards to promoting saving.
And so training your own employees is a great idea, but year before last, I actually focused my America Saves efforts on a work site financial education campaign. We started in January. We had weekly messages. We had contests. We partnered with our credit union. We had what we call potty pointers, one-page information pieces that we put up in places where we have a captive audience who would see those messages. We had some video podcasts. We had a financial fair here in our building. So that was a pretty easy thing to do because I'm already with this audience all the time. And we have a couple of hundred people here on our little extension building campus. So that's something else that you might think about because I think it is a benefit for our own people.
I couldn't agree with that more. I think it's so important to practice what you preach. And sometimes I came from the practitioner field at a United Way in Jacksonville. And I know it's easier sometimes to think, oh, we don't need it and we're already doing the work. But sometimes your employees and fellow coworkers are some of the people who need the savings conversation the most. So keep that in mind.
So my goal from last year was to save for a family vacation, and I saved, but then we didn't ever take the time off and couldn't get our schedules together. So my 2018 goal, if I save again, I can have an even bigger vacation, but my goal for this year is to actually take the vacation that I saved for.
Laura, I am rooting for you. You need that vacation.
Thank you so much. I don't see any more questions right now. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for joining us. And I'll be sending out the recording of this. It will be posted on the Learn event, extensionlearn.org. And anything else, any closing comments, Lindsay or Mark?
I just want to encourage all of you to sign up, at least sign up for the week so you can kind of start seeing the messages. Do what Laura said and take the pledge. So that you kind of know what savers are getting and the messages that they're receiving. And don't forget, so I guess you have 3 homework items. 1 is to sign up for the week. 2 is to take a look at the website and get some ideas of what you're going to do. And 3, send me any content or events that you want promoted. So feel free to send that information to me. If you have any questions, just let me know. But other than that, thank you so much. This was a good time.
All righty, nothing on my end. Laura, have we got anything lined up for January?
No, our community of practice is meeting later this month, and we are working on that schedule for the 2018 webinar topics. And I anticipate that it will continue to be the 4th Wednesday, but I'll have information coming out at the first of the new year confirming that and the topics. Thanks so much, Mark. Thanks, Lindsay. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.